on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing another Manchester City transfer update as we're rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole summer transfer window for you guys to look forward to. So if you haven't already, do subscribe so you can stay up to date here on YouTube every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news this summer. Also, don't forget social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. And also don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts of what you make of these transfers in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the outs. We've got the very latest on Maximo Perrone, now UD Las Palmas in Spain, and now in advanced negotiations to sign Perrone from Manchester City on a season-long loan. That's according to Cesar Luis Merlo, who is a reliable source when it's come to previous Perrone news. So I reckon this is probably pretty legit, and it is looking like Perrone is going to spend the season out on loan and getting some valuable minutes in La Liga. So it'll be interesting to see how he does there. And of course, I will be doing in March my Manchester City loan reports, where I'll be able to give you more updates and clarifications on how players are performing, what they're doing, and what they can bring to Manchester City, whether that would be a permanent sale, another loan, or whether coming back to the Manchester City first team squad, which is what I imagine would be the plan for Maximo Perrone. Now, moving on, I want to speak about another Manchester City young player, Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Seems like I've been speaking about Taylor Harwood-Bellis a lot this summer, and there's lots of stuff that's been happening and nothing's really been materialising. So Alan Nixon has said that Nottingham Forest, they want to sign Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Man City will not move on their £15 million price tag, a price tag that's put West Ham off, a price tag that's put Burnley off, where Taylor spent last season out on loan at Burnley and had a lot of success. Now, Burnley have spent more than £15 million on other players this summer, but obviously didn't value Taylor Harwood-Bellis at £15 million, and Man City have quite simply refused to negotiate with any team when it comes to his value. So if Nottingham Forest want to sign Taylor Harwood-Bellis, it will be £15 million, or they won't be signing him. There's interest from Leeds, Southampton and Leicester. All them clubs not interested in a permanent deal, whilst Man City are open to a permanent transfer. They're happy to loan him out, but I imagine rather than loaning him out to Nottingham Forest, where he may get some minutes or he may not, he's more guaranteed to get minutes with Leeds, Southampton or Leicester. However, he spent last season out on loan in the Championship with Burnley, did very well with them, helped get them promoted. So doing so with one of Leeds, Southampton or Leicester doesn't really advance his game. And to me, if I was Manchester City, I'd be pushing hard here to see if you can get a move to Nottingham Forest. If not, maybe explore abroad for Taylor Harwood-Bellis might be a good option there for Manchester City, certainly in terms of a loan deal. Anyway, moving on to Stefan Ortega Moreno, the very latest on him. I've got some good news on that. It was believed that Moreno was considering a move to Bayern Munich, but according to Florian Plettenberg, now a deal is close to being off completely. Bayern Munich wanted a loan deal. Ortega considered this. Bayern Munich had then got impatient with Ortega waiting to make his decision. Man City have formalised this and just said to Bayern Munich, no. So Stefan Ortega Moreno looks like he's going to be staying at Manchester City. Interestingly, according to reports, City have been offered Meslier over at Leeds United as a replacement for Ortega, but Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, they're happy to stick with Stefan Ortega Moreno as Man City's number 2, which to me, excellent news. He's a brilliant goalkeeper, pushing Ederson all the way, and he'll of course get some minutes for Man City in the Cups and whenever Ederson's injured, and always good to know that we've got a solid goalkeeper as backup should anything happen to Eddie. So I'm delighted with that. Man City now pushing to try and get Ortega Moreno on a new contract. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Joao Cancelo. Paul Ballus has said that there isn't much interest in Joao Cancelo from Europe other than Barcelona. No approach from Cancelo's agent to discuss a move to Barcelona has been made, and no approach from Barcelona to sign Cancelo from Manchester City that hasn't happened. It's not been made. It's for Barcelona only want Joao Cancelo on a loan deal, not a permanent transfer. Barcelona are only interested in having an option to buy. Man City are only interested, if he is to be loaned, with having an obligation to buy. That's according to Paul Ballus. Now, Paul Ballus does go on to say that whilst it is quiet in Europe in terms of interest in Cancelo, very interesting this, he does say there is now interest from Saudi Arabia in Joao Cancelo, and if that is true and any of the clubs decide to make a move, I would say it's more likely that Joao Cancelo goes there than he does to Barcelona, because quite frankly Barcelona cannot afford to sign Joao Cancelo this summer. Interesting, keeping my eyes and ears open for that one. I wonder what the price tag will be for Man City to ask of a Saudi Arabian club for Joao Cancelo. Now, moving on, got the final update in the outs for Aymeric Laporte, and as reported by me over the last couple of days, Martin Blackburn has confirmed that Aymeric Laporte is indeed stalling over an offer from Al Nassr over in Saudi Arabia. He says that Aymeric Laporte is waiting to see if Real Madrid are going to make a move for him, because in their defence, Eder Militao's picked up a serious injury, so he's waiting to see, because he's a left-sided centre-back, whether Real Madrid are going to make a move, and he would prefer a move to Real Madrid over Saudi Arabia. However, Aymeric Laporte, a fee has been agreed with a Saudi Arabian club, Al Nassr, to make that transfer happen. It's all about personal terms, and Laporte doesn't seem that keen on making this transfer happen. I imagine if no offers does come in from elsewhere, he may consider Saudi Arabia, but as of right now, he's waiting to see what happens with other clubs making a move for him. Now, moving on to the ins, got the very latest on Tyrese Noubissie, who signed for Manchester City from Leicester City. He's a 14-year-old top talent. He signs for Manchester City, according to Mike McGrath, for a whopping £1 million, which doesn't sound like a lot of money to Manchester City, and it isn't a lot of money to Manchester City, but it is a lot of money to be signing an unproven 14-year-old kid from Leicester City. So it shows just how highly rated he is that Man City is spending £1 million here on a person who doesn't become eligible to become a professional football player for another 2 to 3 years. We're spending more money on this 14-year-old than what a lot of EFL clubs are on any of their signings, which to me is a whopping amount of money for a player so young. So obviously highly regarded. Mike McGrath does say that he's going to go into the Manchester City Academy. He's going to be playing for the under-16 side. So welcome Tyrese. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. And who knows, in the next 4 or 5 years, you may just see him around the Manchester City first team squad. Exciting opportunity there for Tyrese as well. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Michael Olise. And this is a massive, massive blow for Chelsea, because Chelsea had activated his release clause, £35 million. Man City were interested earlier in the summer. We've not moved it on from interest, but Chelsea had. They activated that release clause. Crystal Palace sat down with Michael Olise. He's now turned down Chelsea and signed a new 4-year contract at Crystal Palace. Massive ouch that for Chelsea. As I said, City were earlier linked in the window. What I can confirm is Michael Olise will not be a Manchester City player this summer. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Valentin Barco, the upcoming talent from Argentina. Now Manchester City apparently are happy for him to stay in Argentina until December, and then he'd join up with Manchester City, I would presume, in the winter, in January. Manchester City, according to TyC Sports in Argentina, are described as being the strongest club interested in the race for Barco. Now Leandro Aguilera has said that his release clause is set at $14 million, not $10 million, and it's up to the player where he goes once his release clause has been met. Manchester City are believed to be negotiating with Boca Juniors and want to keep a really good relationship with Boca Juniors for the 19-year-old left-back. And then Jack Gaughan's come out and put a spanner in the work and says that his release clause is set at £8 million, which obviously doesn't add up to $14 million. So we're getting lots of different prices chucked out there. It tells me that people aren't too sure on what his release clause is at Boca Juniors, but Man City negotiating that price. It may be a case if Man City are happy to keep him at Boca Juniors and have an advantage over everybody else. I've seen this before. Man City pay a little bit more than the release clause to keep good relations, to ensure that they do sign the player, and to ensure that Valentin Barco becomes a Manchester City player when Manchester City want, and things get done on City's terms rather than done on the selling club's terms. And sometimes you've got to pay a little bit more on the release clause to make that happen. It is not common, but I've seen it happen before, in particular with clubs in South America, and I can see Man City once more pushing for that one. What is really interesting is what Jack Gaughan says, and says it's unclear right now as to whether Barco would come in to Manchester City's first team squad or whether he'd be utilised elsewhere, which I presume would mean going to a club in the City football group. We'll have to wait and see. It might be a case like Maximo Perrone, who comes in January, trains around the first team squad, and will assess again next summer. Now, moving on, we've got the latest on Jeremy Doku, and the Independent says that West Ham, they're currently most advanced for Jeremy Doku, and Man City and Tottenham Hotspur, who have been linked with him, are just chasing, which is obviously a lot against the grind of what we've been reporting on with Jeremy Doku. It is a situation I'm keeping my eyes on. Are Man City going to want to make that move? A lot relies on what happens with Cole Palmer. Right now, I would say Jeremy Doku, I'm a little bit uncertain. I'm more certain that Man City are going to make their move to get their man with Lucas Paqueta than I am Jeremy Doku. I firmly believe that Man City will shore up interest in Lucas Paqueta and try and get that sorted rather than Doku, and then assess Doku towards the end of the window. All depends on if West Ham manage to get that deal done before Man City get Lucas Paqueta done. It's all about what happens on that transfer conveyor belt, that merry-go-round that's going on, which is set to go off, I would say, in the next couple of days, where each transfer is going to have a domino knock-on effect with another transfer, with Man City and West Ham involved quite a bit in that merry-go-round. And speaking of Lucas Paqueta, takes us on to a quick update on him, and the Telegraph has said that West Ham are set and are sticking to their value of Lucas Paqueta, £85 million. It was believed that Man City were working on an £80 million deal, which was £70 million as the fee and £10 million included in add-on bonuses. Martin Blackburn has said that Manchester City are reluctant to meet that £85 million asking price. They are stepping up their interest, they're pushing hard to make Paqueta work at Manchester City, but the big question remains, that big hurdle that we had with Joško Gvardiol is the same here with Lucas Paqueta. We've got a selling club who's got their value. Man City aren't happy to meet that value. Can we negotiate and make that transfer happen? The clock is ticking towards transfer deadline day. That big hurdle, can we agree a deal? Can we agree a price on Lucas Paqueta? Talks continue, City continuing to push. Can we make it happen? We kind of need to make it happen with Kevin De Bruyne's injury, which hasn't helped in our power of negotiations here. What are we going to pay? Are we going to make it work? Thankfully, we do have some very good relations with West Ham, and just a little thought out there, Man City may say to West Ham, we want to push for Jeremy Doku. We're happy to walk away and look at other alternatives if you back down here with Lucas Paqueta and accept £80 million, not 85. Just a thought. So there we go. That has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. We smashed 400 on the last one. We're going with 300 for this one, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Leave your thoughts in the comments below of what you make of these transfers. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And I'll see you guys religiously again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.